Good morning. It's Friday morning. I am stuck in traffic on my way to Goodwood. So this is my first time at the Festival of Speed and I'm going to try and film as much as I can. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. A bit of sparkle after working with us. The old V90s, they used to come back.
You are now about to join me on a high-speed test lap around the world.
I'm now on my way back home. Today's been so good. I was pleasantly surprised. I know I look very hot and flustered right now, but it was a very hot day and I was a bit worried that it was going to be a bit much, but honestly, it's been so nice. I have left a little bit early, so it's 3 p.m. I think it goes on for a much longer time, but it is just insanely warm and I think I've seen all the like stands and yeah, things that I wanted to see. Definitely gonna go home and see if we can book tickets for next year because it will be so good to go with Dave as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna make my way back home now and I'll see you on the other side. No toy.
No toy.
Oops. Good morning. It's Sunday morning now. I've done the classic thing of not filming enough this week. So just to give you a little recap of all the stuff that's happened. So last weekend, Dave's mum and dad were here. So they stayed from Friday night to Saturday evening at ours, and then they went to a nearby hotel to kind of have a little getaway as well whilst they were down to visit. So there was a lot of hosting stuff. I was gonna try and film, but it was just so manic. So on the Sunday, we hosted lunch for Dave's mum and dad, and also my family and some family friends. So there was about 11 of us in total. So I made quite a lot of food. So I made 2 quiches. So I made a quiche Lorraine, a salmon and asparagus quiche. I made some sausage rolls. I made some potato salad. I made some like fresh green tomato salad. And I also made a pistachio cheesecake, which was delicious. But unfortunately the texture of it wasn't so great, so it didn't actually like set properly. It was a little bit gooey, which was fine. It still tasted like a cheesecake. It was a Jane's patisserie recipe, and on there she was like, oh, you can either add the cream in or, you know, make it slightly thicker and then fold it in afterwards. I did the quick option, obviously, adding in the double cream into like the cream cheese mixture. And yeah, it didn't set that well, but it tasted delicious. So yeah, lots of cooking happened over the weekend. We also went out for really nice meals and just chilled and caught up, which was quite nice. But equally, I didn't really want to like get my phone out and start like filming stuff. So that was our week. They went back home on Wednesday. What other updates? Home updates. Planning application is halfway through. Unfortunately, our neighbours objected, which is actually quite normal. And we were expecting it because we spoke to them about the build and they weren't too keen. So each to their own. I think if I was in their shoes, I'd do the same. So apparently the planning team don't really take into consideration any kind of vanity stuff. So our neighbours objected because they feel like it will reduce the value of their home. So that apparently is not a valid reason to object. So based on our own research, I think it's still going to go ahead. I think the fact that they have objected means that things like party wall agreements might take a longer time. So party wall agreements are needed when you are in a semi-detached home, basically. So it's a given. If you're digging foundations within 3 meters of another home, you need a party wall agreement. So yeah, it's not the greatest of news, but I think the silver lining, the positive side of it is it's still going to go ahead regardless of what, you know, happens. I think it's just going to take a little bit longer, which is not, I guess everyone wants the extension done like yesterday, but so yeah, it will take a bit longer, but we're not fazed by that. So that was an update. We have also gone to 2 kitchen showrooms, basically. So we are pretty set on DIY kitchens, but we didn't want to make the decision without kind of seeing kitchens on our own as well. So we went to Magnet and Shaker Workshop. So Shaker Workshop is quite similar to Neptune. And yeah, we're going to get a quote for them and see how it goes. And we are set on an in-frame kitchen with white cabinets. I think the last video that I did, we were a bit unsure, but we're definitely going to do white cabinets now. And maybe a little pop of colour inside the like cabinets, but we don't know. We won't know until we get to the point where we are kind of planning approved and we know the measurements and stuff, so that we can actually get kitchen designers in. And yeah, that is pretty much all. Oh my god, another huge update. We have finally booked our trip to Tuscany. So we are celebrating our first year anniversary on the 26th of July. And we're going to Tuscany, so hopefully I'll be able to film a bit of that as well. And we are really, really excited because we haven't been on a holiday since our mini moon. And this was actually meant to be like our proper honeymoon, and we were going to do like a whole month away. But I think with everything going on with the extension, Milo, obviously, we wanted it to be kind of a relatively short break so that we don't have to leave him. I think if we were going to do a month, we probably would have driven to Italy, which is obviously a huge commitment. But yeah, I think we are very, very excited. I'll try and film all of that, I think, or as much as I can, because Tuscany has always been one of my bucket list places to go. So we are extremely excited. So that was another huge update. What are the plans for today? So obviously today's Sunday, we are chilling. It is very warm still here in the UK. It's gonna be about 30 degrees today, I think. So we are currently just chilling in the garden. I've popped in to do a bit of filming, but we're probably going to continue chilling in the garden, maybe do a bit of gardening as well, and make some pancakes, well, healthy pancakes, and then probably see where our day takes us. So we finally sold our old dining table, so that's another big plus for the last week. We finally sold our dining table. We have agreed to go and drop it off at the person who has bought it because it fits in our car. And yeah, we got about 400 quid for it, which is pretty good going. I'm pleased with it because we actually bought the table back in 2019 for 800. So we already bought it on discount. And to be able to sell it for kind of £400 is still pretty good. So that's what we're going to do around 4-ish. We're going to go and drop that off and yeah, just chill and prepare for my last week at work before having 2 weeks off, which is very exciting. Don't forget to subscribe. I know I'm very lax with my uploading at the moment, but I try and do 2 videos a week. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and I will also catch you next week. Making some quick cottage cheese pancakes. Got a couple of eggs that are going in. Once that's whisked, I've got 200 grams of cottage cheese. So this is what kind of makes it a little bit healthier in the sense that there's a bit more protein. And then I've got basically a tablespoon of sugar and just a pinch of baking powder. Usually it's meant to be like 1 teaspoon of baking powder, but I don't have the normal plain flour at home, so I'm using self-raising. So just a teaspoon. So I'm going to put a bit of salt. And then finally it's just the flour that goes in. And that's it. It should be this kind of consistency. It does look a little bit gloopy, but they cook perfectly fine. I've also got some frozen blueberries, a bit of sugar, and some chia seeds in there for the pancake topping. So what's the verdict on the cottage cheese pancakes? Because they are a weird texture, but I think given the amount of protein and stuff in it, I think it's a pretty nice treat, isn't it? And we've also got coffee with oat milk, iced coffee with oat milk.
5 out of 5.
Judging by the empty plate, I think it's definitely a 5 out of 5. So Day is just giving a haircut for some of the salvias that we have in our garden. Apparently this is meant to make sure that...
I like that.
Yeah. We're cutting it back by 1/3/2/3. It's meant to give a second flush of flowers in autumn. I don't think we ever filmed our little herb box either. So we added 2 kind of annual flowers to get the bees in, and we've got basil and rosemary.
It's a pre-salad, isn't it?
Yeah. We also have new-ish hanging baskets. We never really have much success with these hanging baskets, I don't think. Yeah, they're looking okay so far, so hopefully that will last for the rest of the summer. These guys are not doing so well. So this one's doing okay. This is just, I think, geraniums. And then this is something called fuchsias. But they're looking a bit sad. I think it's just because it's too warm. I think we're eventually going to get some Cotswold stone underneath the flowers, because I don't know if you can see, but there's so many weeds. Not only is there so many weeds, Milo just makes, so you can probably see the stepping stones, it's just so messy. So yeah, we're going to get that done eventually as well. Just sat in the guest room now with the mountain of clothes behind me, clean clothes I might add. We've just put the table into the car. Basically I'm ready to drop it off this late afternoon. We also gave the car a good clean with our new shock, which, can I just say, if you have a dog, you'll probably already know the amount of like fur that you get in the boot if they go in the boot. And we've always struggled to kind of clean it ourselves really. We always used to get it professionally done, but we're giving the car a good clean because I'm getting a new car on Friday. Because of where I work, I get a replacement car every 9 months, which is very, very privileged position to be in, and I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, very excited to get a new car this Friday. Usually kind of give it a good clean and make sure it returns into at a good standard as well. So yeah, we're just going to drop off the table and probably going to head back home and relax for the rest of this evening. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next week.